All right, we're going to go ahead and get started. First of all, thank you all for being here. I understand it's fairly early. There's a lot that's happening this morning. Some kids are going back to school, and it means a lot that the community continues to show up and show out. The last time we were here and this coalition was here, it was 38 days ago on July 26th. And we said that we were coming together to make sure that we have affordable housing in our community. We understand that we have a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to invest in affordable housing in this city in a way that we never have before. There are some people in this building and former people that were in this building that have been in office for years. But yet, unfortunately, the housing crisis is not new. Some of those same people, unfortunately, as people have heard the news last week, want to be mayor. There's a lot of people in this building that want to be mayor. And we want to make sure that they know that they need to do the will of the people in the city of Milwaukee, and that starts with affordable housing. There are some people that want our votes, when quite frankly, they have turned a blind eye to our community for years, while they continue to have affordable housing for themselves while continuing to ignore our communities. And so we want to make sure that people know that at 9 a.m. on a Thursday, there is more where this came from. And it's important for people to know that we stand clear and united in this fight.
Come on.
How many of us are here to make sure we are advocating for our people in our community?
Come on.
We have one of the worst housing crises in the nation.
That's right.
And it is terrible to know that people in this building want to run for higher public office while they have done nothing for this crisis. They have done nothing to stand up for our communities. And quite frankly, some of them are not even qualified to be here or to run for mayor. Y'all can figure out who I'm talking about. There might be a few people that fit that description, quite frankly. But enough with the politics. We are here to make sure that community leaders and nonprofit leaders and grassroots organizations and labor are coming together, standing united to making sure that we are putting the interests of the people first. And so first, we're going to hear from several speakers, but first we're going to bring up Reverend Greg Lewis with Souls to the Polls.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Good morning.
And I'm totally agreeing with everything that my partner has said, because I got my folks with me too. I got preachers here who
Yes, sir.
they represent folks.
Amen.
And that just means that, you know, if I'm gonna tell you something, you get preachers here this early in the morning, you know, there's something going on, I'll tell you that right now. But in all seriousness, you know, this is a serious situation we have here with our housing. You know, people are about to get put out their homes immediately, and, you know, people can't pay their mortgages because we've been through this whole pandemic. But, you know, I want to make sure that everybody understands that we need to know exactly what's going on with that $394 million.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hello, somebody.
Come on. Somebody.
Yes.
And our community needs to know.
That's right.
And that's why, you know, I wanted these faith leaders to be here, because I need them to tell their congregations what's really going on here.
Yes.
How we have an opportunity to do something about things that have been plaguing our community for decades, even centuries. And now, you know, I believe the people need to know what's going on so that their involvement is meaningful and focused.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We'll have to educate ourselves, everybody.
Come on, sir.
Nobody's just going to give us the information. I'll tell you that right now. That's why we're here now.
Yes, sir.
We can't let this opportunity pass us by. And it certainly will if we don't pay attention.
Come on. Say it. Say it.
So we're here to pay attention this morning because I'm sick and tired, like Fannie Lou Hamer said, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I'm sick of all the resources going right over my head. I'm sick of people getting money for poor folks and we never get the money.
Come on.
I'm sick of that. I'm sick of the usual people getting all the resources and it never gets to us until it becomes crumbs. I'm sick of it.
That's right.
So we want fair housing now. We want affordable housing now. Right now. So everybody, this is just the beginning.
Yes, sir.
I want everybody to stay tuned, fill in everybody, make sure that we understand what's going on so we can take advantage of that $294 million being in this city for us. Thank you.
Come on.
Okay, y'all see why we started with the pastor's first day. You know, what was just mentioned was about education, and I'm gonna take a moment of personal privilege to talk about BLOC and how we are going out on doors immediately after this to make sure that we're continuing to educate and engage the community, because we need to make sure that everybody knows it's all hands on deck, and that while there may be people in this building that aren't fighting for them, we are.
Come on. Thank you.
Next, I want to bring up my friend, my sister in the struggle, Christine Newman Ortiz from Voces de la Frontera.
Voces de la Frontera and our members are here to stand in solidarity with all of the organizations that have been step by step demanding that $200 million be invested in affordable housing and to spread the word in the community. We are honored to be continuing also that education process. We're going to be doing a bilingual Facebook Live meeting with our partners to educate about where is this federal funding for the pandemic going and how we can have a voice in its implementation. It is not just about the money. It's about how that money is implemented and the oversight and who has a seat at the table. All of these organizations, we demand to have a seat at the table. All of these organizations, we have marched together. We have pushed out the vote together. We have stood in solidarity against efforts to criminalize and impoverish the community. Well, now is an opportunity, and we are fighting for affordable housing together and much more. And we're going to make sure we have a structure that ensures a seat at the table for the people who are the most affected by the inequality in housing and economic injustice. And si se puede.
So I hope people are starting to see by now and understand that our movement is inclusive. It is intersectional. There's probably every corner of the city of Milwaukee represented here in some way, shape, or form. And to me, that is beautiful. Because honestly, our fights are nothing if we are divided. And if we are here coming together, understanding that this is an immigrant rights issue, this is a worker issue, it's a labor issue, it's a black and brown issue, it is a gender issue, it is a safety issue. There's lots of conversations right now about what it means to be safe. Does that mean adding more police officers? Or does it mean having affordable housing so people have a safe place to sleep at night? We understand the intersectionality of our movements, and that's why we are all coming here together today. So next, I'm proud to bring up Peter Rickman from MASH to be able to continue the conversation about labor and workers' rights here today.
All right.
Thank you, Angela. You know, my name is Peter Rickman, and I'm from the Service Workers Union. Just to put this into context, we represent the multiracial working class who got us through this pandemic and dealt with the worst effects of it. You know, whether we're talking about the CNAs in our homes or in nursing homes, the hospital housekeepers that kept the doctors and nurses sanitary and safe, or we're talking about the cooks and the cashiers, the bartenders and baristas who lost out during this pandemic and are struggling to get back to some level of economic stability. This is who the fight is about. It's the black, brown, white folks in this city whose labor makes Milwaukee possible. So that's why I'm here to say, in Milwaukee, we are sick and tired of being sick and tired because for too long, the rent has been too damn high and wages have been too damn low. Living wages are a social right. Housing is a social right, and we cannot have a city for all of us until this government delivers on our basic and fundamental rights to living wages and housing. Here today, we have a once-in-a-lifetime, once-in-a-generation opportunity to make progress on affordable housing. And through our union, service sector workers are coming together, uniting with this broad and diverse and powerful coalition. As Christine has said, as Greg has said, as Angela has said, we have been in the streets. We have been at the ballot box, and we're here today in the halls of government to demand what's ours. Affordable housing and ARPA funds to make it possible to build a city for all of us. The demand is simple. We said it weeks ago. Half of the ARPA funds that are about building back better and recovering in Milwaukee need to go into affordable housing. It's pretty clear. If Milwaukee invests tens, hundreds of millions of dollars in affordable housing, it is going to deal with one of the most burning and urgent social crises. I cannot imagine people who show up to this room saying to themselves, well, we'll deal with all the little stuff first. No, we deal with housing first and then take care of the prerogatives and the priorities of other folks. Affordable housing now is the demand. Half of ARPA funds go into affordable housing, $200 million to put service sector working class people who make this city go.
That's right.
Put a roof over our heads so we can keep food on the table for our families. Affordable housing now. For too long, the rent has been too damn high and wages are too damn low, but we are here to fight, and we will make this change. Thank you.
Right. So Peter just talked about making sure that we are getting what we deserve as a community. I'm gonna go a step further and say getting what we are owed. Because this is a long time overdue. I want more than what I deserve. I want what I'm owed. I want what I'm owed with interest. And everyone in this building needs to know that too. We cannot, as Peter said, have a city united if we are not working for all of the people here. If we are only working in the interest of corporations and the gentrifiers, it is not a city that's working for everybody here. We know that our city is segregated and divided. But today we are not. Because we know that this is something that all of us deal with. And it's going to take all of us to be able to continue to fight together. Next up, I want to bring up Ken Kinsby, who is a neighborhood leader.
All right.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Good morning. I see we all made roll call today, so for a specific reason. I just came to say $3,090? You got to be kidding me. As I look over the city, I see so many people laying out on the streets. I even ran across young men out gambling with their money, trying to help ends meet for their mother to pay the rent. And we sick and tired of this stuff. And as we come together as a people, we're gonna make it happen. But we gotta make sure we with one accord with everything we do, because everybody gotta have the same heart for it. We got these young ladies out here now. They're running around selling their bodies. They're all messed up on drugs simply because they're trying to fit the needs to their home to bring their children up. So we as a people, as we come together, we got to make sure that we have a loud voice behind what we're doing. And we got to make sure that we get this stuff done, because we're not going to quit until we get it done. So we're going to ask for that $2 million. We need the $2 million for the community. We need it for the people. $200 million. $200 million, correct. I stand to be corrected, because I got a little bit excited about this, y'all. And I'm upset. They sick and tired of being sick and tired, and I'm fed up. So let's get this thing together. Let's continue to get out and make this thing work with the people.
That's right, Doc.
to bring up President of the NAACP, Clarence Nichols.
The NAACP support affordable housing. And if you go back in time, 1963, Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King said there are 5 essentials to a healthy community. That is education, employment, housing, health care, and social justice. Today we're here for housing as our #1 priority. The $200 million is affordable for housing at this point, because you have to look at the millions that have come into the city, not just the city of Milwaukee per se, but the county, and for the school board and the referendum. All those things are possible in terms of making affordable housing work, because we could partner with others to make it happen in terms of the Common Council working with other organizations such as the Milwaukee Public Schools and the county to make it happen. So it doesn't have to come solely from the county. We support affordable housing.
Thank you. So as you continue to see that we have a wide variety of people in this coalition. And again, I keep saying this, there is more where this came from, because we understand that 9 a.m. on a Thursday is not convenient for working class folks, right? And so we know that there are so many more people that we have talked to in the community that can't be here today, but are saying thank you, keep fighting for us. And that is what we will continue to do. Lastly, but certainly not least, I want to bring up Jared English from Metcalf Parke Community Bridges that has been doing a tremendous amount of incredible work in the Metcalf Parke community around housing.
All right. So first I want to restate what Angela just said. There's no reason why these meetings should be at 9 a.m. period.
For real.
If we want to be the leaders in this state, and we are by default because we are where the people are, we can do like Madison and other cities are doing and have them in the evening when people can actually be here. And so, as Angela said, I'm Jared English. I'm the Director of Housing Development for Metcalf Parke Community Bridges. And, you know, where we don't just talk about good housing, we build it and we make it happen.
All right.
And so we're not here just to make a show. We are here as an alliance of groups representing the majority population of our great city. Black, brown, low-wage workers, low-income people, and no-income people. That's right. Let's not just throw them out the way.
Yep.
We're from churches, we're from labor unions, we're from community organizations, and we're from the community itself. We are from the north side, the south side, the central city, every part of the city, and we're watching. And I want to also remind you all that we all vote.
That's right. Say that again.
We're different. We all vote. We are different in many, many ways, but we are completely united here today because we know and live in this city coping with the tragedy of another type of pandemic, one that's lasted much longer, of toxic, disease, inadequate, and completely unaffordable housing.
Come on now.
We are here as an alliance of groups whose communities are unstable because there are not anywhere near enough permanently affordable, safe, and secure homes for our families in need.
Yes.
There is no question, none. You can go talk to the academics, you can go talk to Pastor Greg, you can go talk to the homie down the street. There's no question that good housing is the core of absolutely every stable, safe, and thriving community, period. Period. We demand that the people we hired in this building to represent us using our money, as provided through the federal aid dollars, to invest seriously in housing rehabilitation and construction for people making the lowest wages. We see a future where over 30,000 families currently in need have quality housing that they can afford, that they can live in, longer than the qualification period of a developer's tax credit. We're tired of our homes being sold off from under us for somebody to make a profit. For many years, it's just completely inadequate. And so what we want to see, what we're going to make sure that we see, is that of the 394 million sitting on Milwaukee's table, our table, we want 200 million for permanently affordable housing. Yeah. We're going to sit at the table as these decisions are being made, and we're going to make sure that the voice of the community is heard during these discussions. Come on now. The needs of the community, the people, must be the real priority. There's no other choice. We are united on this, and we ain't going away. Come on now. We'll see you in this Finance Committee hearing, and most especially, we're going to see you in that voting booth. Thank you.
The points have been made. We were here 38 days ago, and we will continue to be here as long as it takes. If the city won't listen, we escalate. We do what we need to do to continue this fight, to make sure that if they are not protecting the most vulnerable among us in the city, we will. We look out for our own. There you go. That is what we learned in this pandemic. And we also learned that the rich got richer. And it is a shame that we have allowed that to happen, that they allowed that to happen. No more. Starting today, no more. Everyone in this building has been put on notice in so many ways. And if our message isn't clear, trust me, we will continue to make it clearer for you. Show up for the community or we won't show up for you. Period. With that, we'll take any questions from the press.
Can you say a little bit more about what you want this $200 million to go for? Like, what would be the best use in terms of affordable housing?
Well, it's very simple. What station are you from, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm from the Journal Sentinel. The
Journal Sentinel. So you can drive a mile from your office, and you can see directly where we need to put the money. We have a huge number of people in this city making between $7 and $15 an hour. Most of them much below that. And they can't afford to pay downtown East Side prices, though they are forced to because the city is unable to crack down on landlords and also not able to keep the housing that is in its own stock in adequate conditions so that community developers and other folks who actually care about folks living in the community can actually get it together. And so that $294 million directly needs to go to the rehab, detoxification, and restoration of permanently affordable housing for the 300,000 plus people in this city who need it.
You know, just to add on to this, see, this is the important part. You know, that little bit of money is nothing. The problem is much huger than that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know, so when you come to me wanting to, you know, throw pebbles at our community again, that's nonsense. We've been through all this before.
Yes, sir.
We need 35,000 low-income family units.
Yes, sir.
And about 9,000 single-family homes.
Yes,
we need education, we need training, we need jobs, all of these things. It's just not brick and mortar. It's about letting people take care of themselves. We're not asking anybody to give us anything. Just give us a hand. That's all we need. And we can make sure that our folks come together and we put skin in the game and rebuild our community. It's like James Brown said, I don't want nobody to give me nothing. Just open up the door. I'll get it myself.
I truly wasn't sure where the James Brown quote was going. So to answer the question, as we see some of the alders come in the door, you know, you've heard here today that this coalition represents the broad diversity of working class and poor people in Milwaukee. And that's what we're looking for in a housing plan. When we talk about $200 million, it's an all of the above sort of strategy. We need to rehabilitate the foreclosed homes that are falling into disrepair in neighborhoods across the north side and the south side. Those are homes that should be filled with people. We need to make sure that homeowners who are struggling with rising property taxes, who are dealing with mortgages, are able to fix up their homes, so they're forever homes for them. But as Pastor Lewis said, we need to make sure that we are making substantial progress on building the 35,000 affordable housing units that this city needs to basically put roofs over people's heads. And as we've now seen some of the alders come in here, I do want to say this coalition has put forward a demand, and some of them have ears perking up who are saying, hey, can we get to the table with you all to hear about how to put this together? So there's not a definitive plan right now, but some of the alders and folks from this coalition will, I'm sure, come to put that forward in the coming days. Time is running short, and as long as the alders and the mayor in this building here, that affordable housing is the priority, and we need to put $200 million into that, we can figure out the details. Yep. That's right. But it's up to these policymakers to say, first and foremost, yes, affordable housing now is the priority, and let's get you all at the table to decide on the details.
So we saw some alders starting to go into the meeting, and we acknowledge that it's starting. So any other questions, if people want to grab people individually, spokespeople from different organizations, but we do want to wrap up as the meeting will get started shortly. So thank you all for being here.
Thank you for what you're doing.